What's cracking, Matt? I recently found your podcast, your YouTube channel. Everything is changing my fucking life. I love what you're doing. Thank you so much. Here's the deal. I own a coffee roasting company. I want to send you coffee. You enjoy coffee. I want to send you some. Not in a shitty, I hope you feature it on your YouTube channel or talk about it on the podcast kind of way, but just in a friendly, wake up in the morning, enjoy it for yourself, and be happy kind of way. And yeah, man, have the best day.
Thanks for the coffee, Chris. In this video, I'm going to answer some of your questions on minimalism, motivation, and other things that you might find interesting. It's raining right now. I'm going to go inside. All right, so before I get to your questions, I have one important housekeeping item. I'm going to be moving my podcast, The Ground Up Show, to a new and separate YouTube channel. It's going to now live at youtube.com/groundupshow. I'm making that switch over the next couple weeks. So make sure that you subscribe. Go to the description below to continue to get the podcast. As always, thanks for watching. Let's get to your questions. When people ask what you do for a living, do you say YouTuber or filmmaker? So I've been a filmmaker for my entire life. Ever since I started tinkering with videos in high school, it's really been the one passion that has carried throughout my entire life. YouTube is something that I've been doing for really the past 2 years. So when people ask me what I do for a living, I say filmmaker. I also feel like when you tell somebody that you're a YouTuber, you're asking for a lot of questions. It's like introducing yourself as a vegan or a minimalist. I usually just tell people that I'm Matt. Have you ever come across a situation where you know you need to do something, but you just don't feel like it? How do you continue to stay motivated for the long run? I think motivation might be the wrong word here. A lot of times we think that we need and want motivation because we can remember back to a time when we felt so inspired that the work was effortless. But instead of motivation, what we really want is to simply get things done. And in order to get things done, to do the things that we really don't want to do right now, I found that there are 2 or 3 things that really work well for me. I set very clear and specific deadlines. Think about how powerful the tax deadline is. Even if you've procrastinated the entire year, you'll get your ass in gear at some point in April. So for me, I upload a video every Monday and a podcast every Wednesday. They're very firm and set deadlines, and I rarely have an excuse good enough to skip them. And for me, having this constant process every single week of uploading and creating videos, it allows me to avoid the procrastination, it allows me to overcome doubt, and most importantly, it prevents me from perfectionism, from making sure that I'm not tinkering every single pixel and every single frame to make sure that this video is just right. I get it to be just good enough, and then I ship it. And then I'm on to my next video. The second thing that I've done in the past is to set a timer. Now, this was really important for me when I was really just starting out because I hadn't yet developed that habit. I hadn't yet built up this practice of sitting down and doing the work every day. So sitting down for even an hour or 2 was difficult. And this is actually even something that Thomas Frank talked about on a recent podcast that works really well for him. So you set a timer. Really short period of time, 15, 30 minutes maybe. You click start and then you start working. And the only commitment is to work for that 15 or 30 minutes. And what you'll find is that you'll usually end up working for a lot longer. You'll breeze past that 15 to 30 minutes and you'll just keep working because the most difficult part is sitting down to begin with. Also, I'll say that I really love what I do. If you like the idea of being a filmmaker more than you love the actual process of filmmaking, then you're gonna have a really difficult time. So find something that people have to pull you away from. Find something that you love so much that you don't wanna stop. And I'll say that's probably the best place to find productivity in any field. If you could add any course as an option to take during college that doesn't already exist, what would it be and why? I'm not sure if these exist. I'm sure that they do in some form or another, but I think 2 really important topics that most people don't spend enough time learning are personal finance and behavioral change. Both of them have had a massive effect on my life and changed the way I look at the world and changed the way that I show up every day. That said, something that I always tell people is Don't rely on a college syllabus to teach you everything that you need to know in life. If you're just relying on other people to give you the information that you need to live a healthy and productive life, you're not going to get very far. For me, learning how to become a filmmaker while in school gave me a leg up, and it gave me more experience than other people that were taking the same exact classes as myself. So you really need to be dedicated, and you really need to understand that this is your life. Stop letting other people control it. Try to figure out what you really want out of it for yourself. Since all your minimalism videos are really popular, how do you avoid the temptation to use it as shallow clickbait? People have varying definitions of what clickbait is, and you're not going to make everybody happy, so just forget about that from the beginning. But I'll say that when I'm trying to create a title and a thumbnail, I ask some questions to make sure that mine don't feel like clickbait. So, is this title sensational? Does this thumbnail accurately represent what somebody's gonna get when they click the video? Does it meet the expectations of what they might be thinking that they'll get? And if it doesn't line up with that, then I will scrap it. And this does come at a cost. So it comes at the cost of views, attention in the short term. But I would say in the long term, what you gain are hopefully people that watch your videos that really, they trust you. When I'm creating a video about minimalism or any topic for that matter, I ask myself a different set of questions. Have I told this story before? If so, can I tell it in a different and unique way? How can I bring my humor and personality into this video? And a bunch of other questions to make sure that what I'm creating is original, that I'm not being repetitive. I want to continue to be able to entertain and provide value to people, but I want to do it in a different way. And if I'm getting bored by the videos that I'm making, then I know for sure you guys are going to be bored as well. So just asking these questions and making sure that I'm really thoughtful about each and every video that I make helps to ensure that what I'm creating isn't clickbait and isn't simply for the views. What are some of the new lessons you've learned over the past year that have had the biggest impact on your life? So last year, 2018, marked the year when I was actually able to make a full-time living creating original content. I don't know if I ever thought I could make it happen. I mean, I guess like I did, because otherwise I wouldn't have taken that leap. I just didn't know how long it was gonna take. Obviously, there are no guarantees, but what I realize now looking back on it is that your life can change in a day. That's all it takes. And in that day is the decision when you decide to make a change, whether it's a simple habit that you're trying to build or it's a new company that you're looking to create. All it takes is one day. It takes that one day, that one moment to just overcome that doubt, everything that's riding against you, that current that is pushing you in the way of conformity, to do something different. How can I keep my videos and podcast as interesting and as good as the previous one? Don't. I think this is the trap that most people get into. They feel like they have to continually one-up themselves, that each podcast guest they have on their show has to be better than the one that they had before it. But this is just kind of a ranking and ordering and a comparing that I don't think is helpful. Naturally, the stuff that you're making is gonna get better over time. It's not gonna be each and every one better and better and better and better. But over the long run, over a year or 2, 3 years, you're gonna look back and realize all the progress that you've made. But I don't think it's helpful to feel like you need to continue to one-up yourself each and every time. Are there any new lifestyle changes you've been wanting to try for a while? What are your goals for the channel in 2019? So obviously, I'm still trying to get The Rock on my podcast, get The Rock on mattspodcast.com. But other than that, I don't have any really major big goals that I'm looking to achieve this year. Maybe I will think of some over the next month or so. But really, the thing that I'm most excited about is I don't want to be seen as an expert. I want to be seen as an experimenter. So I want to continue to poke around at things, to learn from my podcast guests, to try 30-day challenges, to continue to learn, and hopefully to continue to learn with you. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my podcast. The new YouTube channel is in the description down below. And if you want to continue to support my videos, you can do so at patreon.com/MattDiavella. I've got a cool video coming this week that I really think you're gonna like. So one of the most common questions and comments I get about my creativity and filmmaking is how I get my videos to look the way I do. So this week I'm gonna be breaking down my color grade and some of the things I do to get the look I do on my videos at patreon.com/MattDiabella. As always, thanks for watching.